Hey, this is Tora Woloshin, and you're listening to Shooting the Shit Podcast.
4, 3, 2, 1. Welcome. We are all sitting here shooting the shit.
Do you mind doing the interview? Do you mind going through some of these questions or what, Tora?
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
All right, boys. I'm gonna dip out then because you got your interview going.
Absolutely, Alex.
So
Thank you so much, buddy.
No, thanks for having me, guys. Bye, Tora. Take care.
Bye.
All right.
Now
we decided one of our DJ friends get on. He was like, "Hey, I'll come on," and then we were just
nice.
talking.
Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
you know, we never. It doesn't matter if one of the interviews can't make it. Usually we pull through and we go on with the show and. I don't know. Sometimes we just talk nonsense. You know what I mean? So half the time we have no idea. I don't even know what the hell we were talking about today. So, let's get right into it, Tora. Where were you born and raised?
Well, I was born in Los Angeles and I was raised in Arizona.
Oh, okay. So is Arizona as hot as everyone says it is?
During the summertime, yes, it is definitely hot.
I have friends that moved to Arizona, and I'm like, I got jealous. I get jealous, extremely jealous in the winters from Canada. I'm like, God damn it!
Oh, wow, yes.
Like, sign me up to Arizona, you know? So
that's nuts. So, how old were you when you started singing?
I was probably about 2 years old when I started.
2? God,
Yeah.
I don't think I was even talking at 2.
Well, my mom tells stories about me singing, like when I first said my first words, that I said them in song. But that's before I can remember. So
That's dope, though. That's really cool, though. Like, I don't know. I was like, at 2, I always find everyone that we ever interview that's, has some sort of talent started so young.
True.
And then there was me that started so late, so it all makes sense now. So, so like, how old were you when you started taking this seriously?
well, I started actually performing in front of people when I was 4. And then the first demo I released, I was 10, and then I wrote my first album when I was 13.
Wow. Bam's an artist. Bam, when did you start writing?
Ooh, shit. I would think I was about 17, 18.
Yeah, see, us boys, we're slow. We're just a lot slower.
17, 18. It's a lot of weed involved. Had a bright idea that I can actually write a song, and to be honest with you, I'm still struggling to this day to write a song. You know what I mean? So it was a bad idea, I think. So who influenced you to be an artist?
Well, firstly, my mother. My mother really influenced me the most. And then other artists that I'm influenced by, like Mariah Carey, we have a very similar story, and artists like Selena and Celine Dion, and
wow, yeah, some power hitters.
I could go on. All those artists are very good.
Okay.
I have a lot of inspirations.
Well, that's true. A lot of talented people,
Yeah, so I research some of your stuff, and then I was reading a part of your bio, in that you sung over 100 national anthems.
Ooh.
Yeah.
How old were you when your first one? How old were you when you sung your first national anthem?
I was probably like 10.
And you
That's young.
Nervous?
Yeah, back then I was.
Okay, good.
I don't get nervous for the anthem nowadays, but I mean, when I first started, it was usually just like, I didn't want to forget the words to like such a big song.
It's true. And we've witnessed people like getting like crucified over these national anthems.
Yeah.
You're just like, and they never let it go.
It sucks because you try to put a little bit of you into that national anthem, and people are like, no, it ain't supposed to be like that. It's like, it was kind of okay. I liked it.
Yeah.
The second part of that question, I wanted to ask you, what was your biggest crowd for a national anthem?
For a national anthem, I'd have to say it was probably. That's a hard one. I've had a few really big crowds.
Now, was it sporting?
I did a Diamondbacks game that was really big. I'm trying to remember what the year was. I can't remember what year that was, but might have been maybe like 8 or 9 years ago. There were the
Yeah.
stands were packed. It was at the Chase Center in Phoenix, so
Okay.
it was pretty big and it was packed. So yeah.
Oh, man, I don't know. So I just hide behind this computer on a podcast. It
Yeah.
doesn't affect me. You'd put me in front of a crowd, I'd be like, yeah. No, I'm not. No, that's, I don't know. You guys have some, I don't know, man. I sound loud, but really stick me in front of a crowd and I'm as quiet as it gets, you know?
Yeah.
So let's talk about X Factor. How was that experience from start to finish?
Gosh, it was good. It was some moments were intense. I guess, let's see. It started, my first audition, I want to say, was like at the beginning of June.
Yeah.
And that's when I went right in front of the judges in Seattle. We actually drove up to Seattle for that audition. And then boot camp started on my birthday, on my 21st birthday, actually. And that was on July 18th. Boot camp started, and it was about a little over a week long. And that was pretty intense. That was probably the most intense.
So what does boot camp consider? Yeah, what do you have to do through boot camp?
Well, there's a lot of things. There's probably about 5 or 6 elimination rounds during boot camp. It's about a week and a half, and they go from like 300 people to all the way down to 32. And those 32 are the ones that go to judges' houses at the end of the week.
So when we watch some of these shows, these challenge shows, and they say you've made it, you just made it to boot camp, is what you're saying.
I made it to the judges' houses round.
I know, but so when people say you made it, they're just giving out these invites, and then they do another major cut. Is that what you're saying?
Oh, well, not really. I mean, they do. Once you go to boot camp, you go through about 5 elimination rounds within boot camp.
Okay.
So you make it about 5 times that whole week.
Wow.
So like I think one of the first rounds during boot camp, we all filed. It was probably like they did 20 people at a time, filed on this huge stage in a line, and one after another stepped forward and did about 10 seconds of a song and then stepped back, completely a cappella. Wow. And then, and that was a whole day because they did that with like 300, it was like almost 300 people that they were doing that with. Ooh. And so they chose who was going to make it to the next round after that. And the next day, I think it was the next, the next day, they had assigned us songs that night. The people that made it to the next round, they assigned us songs that night that we had to learn overnight for the next day and audition and perform in front of the judges the next day. Wow. So we stayed up all night. And of course, the producers of the show, they come pounding on the hotel door rooms at like 5 in the morning to wake us up and get us downstairs. They're like, you have 10 minutes to get downstairs.
Oh,
wow. And the bus is leaving for the audition. So we go, we have to get ready. We have to get stage ready, and camera ready. And we go and we all do our audition. That probably lasts the whole day again, because it's like everybody doing pretty much a full song. And while some people were doing the auditioning parts, the others were rehearsing with the band. So we were like kind of doing this cycle to get these auditions done. And then there was another day where the people that had made it through to that round, they paired us all into separate groups. I was in an all-girls group, and we did a song called I'm Every Woman. And it was really cool. Brian Friedman, I don't know, he's a really big choreographer. He worked with Britney Spears, NSYNC, Usher, like everybody, literally. He's an amazing dancer, choreographer. He came in and worked with us and choreographed all the numbers and, did the whole stage lineups and everything. And we rehearsed, for a few hours and then performed it in front of the judges the same day. Kind of like the other auditions as well. And then there was this was a crazy turn because that elimination round, they cut us in half.
Okay.
And after they cut us in half, they were like, oh, we're going to celebrate the judges and everybody. Like they had this little room in the hotel where they hired a DJ and they threw us a little party to celebrate. That we made it to, it was almost the end of boot camp. So we had, I think, maybe 2 rounds left after this next one. So we're at this little celebration party or whatever, and we're celebrating. We made it to the next round. It's like 2 a.m, right? And they're like, oh, by the way, we're waking up at 4 a.m.
I knew it.
We're going to meet Brian Friedman, and he's going to do a whole choreography number, a full dance routine. For 9 hours, we're going to rehearse and then perform the dance routine, just the dance routine in front of the judges at the end of the day. So it's 2 a.m. when they tell us this. And
that is intense.
I'm going back to my room.
Yeah.
I was like, bye.
That's a setup.
Little did you know it, they knocked on our doors and had someone call the hotel phones at the same time that morning. That next morning. They messed us up. And they were like, you have 5 minutes to get downstairs. We were like, I was just shoving my makeup, shoving up my stuff in my bag. I was like, I'm going to get ready there.
Yeah, of course.
That's it. Yeah. That's
now,
crazy.
Throughout the competition, did you get to pick your own music and own songs to sing?
I got to choose my own song. The very first, the Michael Jackson song, the I Want You Back, I chose that song. All the other songs we did not choose. Although there was one song that they gave us a list. They gave us a list of about 20 songs to choose from, and we chose one from the list. But all the other ones were assigned to us.
Because when you YouTube your name, you also have that one awesome segment where you sing, and then Simon Cowell gives you the, you did an amazing job. Like, that's a cool little clip of you on stage on the X Factor show. That's really cool. That must have been a good experience. So was that did you get to meet any of these people backstage, any of the judges?
Well, Simon Cowell mentored me for 6 months. I was on the show for 6 months. So he was my mentor. And we worked with him a lot behind the scenes. He took us to London. He took us to Paris. Took us to his house was in France. So he took us to France, and we rehearsed with the band that we performed for him one-on-one for that round.
That's cool.
And he did a lot. It was kind of tough love, but at the same time, he knew that I was better than what they were trying to find. In a sense that I was more of a developed artist. I knew who I wanted to be. I was a strong, intelligent woman who I have a purpose for my music. And he saw that, and he told me, this competition isn't for you. We're looking for a puppet.
Oh, it's true. It's true.
And that's why he eliminated me.
Wow.
So, plus they
a shitty feeling, but a great respect. You know what I mean? That's hilarious, though.
That's nuts. That's nuts. Yeah. So, you performed at Flow Riders Back to School Fest in Miami. How was that experience?
What was that?
You performed at Flow Riders Back to School Fest in Miami.
I'm sorry,
how was that? Oh, I'm breaking up. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah.
How was that experience?
Really
how was that experience?
That was really fun. It was great to see such a good program being formed. Flow Rider and his team had put together this kind of back to school program to help schools that didn't necessarily have enough funds or maybe weren't really in the best of locations, or had like troubled students and such. So there's this whole thing that he did for a little while, and
Okay.
I was signed to a label and actually living in Miami at the time,
Mm-hmm.
and I got this invite to open for him at this back to school fest, and of course I accepted and
Good.
put together this little show, and yeah, it was a really good time.
She calls it a little show. I love
I know, right? So that sounds like a great experience.
That sounds so awesome. So also looking through your song list, I noticed that you have a song featuring Jim Jones and produced by Timberland. I want to know that story. How did that come about?
Well, that is a funny story, actually. I actually did that song with the same label that I was with in Miami.
Mm-hmm.
And so they had signed this artist before me who had wrote this song to that beat with Jim Jones' verse on it, and Jim Jones and Timbaland didn't like it. So when they signed me, they were like, well, we like what she's doing so far. Let's give her this song, this old song, and if we like it, she can have it.
Okay.
And so I wrote this song to, on top of the beat and the verse. The beat and the verse was already there, and then I wrote this song on top of it, and they loved it, and they gave me the full rights to release and own it. So it was quite a blessing. Unfortunately I wasn't able to ever meet them, but it was cool to be honored in that way by
yeah, absolutely.
I mean, if they gave you permission to put it out, then you're certified.
Yeah, definitely. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So you also toured with B.O.B. and you opened for Neo?
I did. Yes.
Tell me more.
Yeah, the B.O.B. tour was about a month long. That was a pretty fun tour. It was pretty fast paced. We hit gosh, almost every state.
Wow.
Within these borders.
Mm-hmm.
And I performed at, First Ave, where Prince used to perform at. I performed at like all of the oh my gosh, what are they? The House of Blues.
Wow.
All the House of Blues here in the US. We just went everywhere. So it was a great experience. Yeah.
That is crazy. I wish. Now, what was I gonna say? Now, if I introduced you to a group of people, and you had to pick one song to turn them into a fan, what song would you recommend them to hear?
Of mine?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I would tell them wait until the 27th because my new song Eclipse
yes.
comes out then, and
yes.
probably my best yet.
That's dope.
Okay.
It's true. We've been interviewing a lot of artists, and I find everyone matures. You hear their later stuff, and then you can tell like they're coming together. There's been a few people. I go straight from the beginning. I listen to stuff, and I'm like, wow, they were good, but you see where they're going now, and it's like this is crazy. And I definitely would believe that your latest stuff would be the best stuff yet. I definitely believe that.
Wow, that's true. Question: are you currently signed or independent at the moment?
I am currently independent right now, yes.
And how you finding the grind on that?
The grind is interesting, especially during COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I've tried to do, and I'm always shopping. I'm always open to building my team and having like a manager and all that. It's just every time I do have one, they just sit on their ass and don't do anything. And I'm like, so why? You just want this piece of paper with my name on it? What is the point? What is the point?
Right.
So I'm like, until someone, comes to me with something serious and
of course
efficient, then I just don't have time.
Right.
No, I totally get that for sure. So as an artist today, what's the biggest obstacle do you have to deal with?
Honestly, having to burn bridges because I won't sleep with men and they won't accept it if I don't.
Good for you.
So I have to walk away.
Good for you.
God damn, there's a Weinstein everywhere. Is that what it is?
Oh, it's literally it's endless.
Wow.
It's like I have a person every day that I'm like, have to cut off because I realize what their true intentions are.
That is fucking crazy.
And most of the time you don't find out their true intentions until you're like so far deep in, and then it's like, oh,
Like
well
shit.
now in order to get my music that I just recorded for the last 6 months with you, now you want me to do all this other stuff.
That is crazy. That's got to be, that's a
I've
shitty
lost a
feeling.
lot of music. I've
Really?
walked away from a lot of projects, a lot of music that I created, that I owned because of that.
Oh, wow.
Because it was on their hard drive and they weren't going to release it to me unless I did something with them. Or was their girlfriend or something stupid.
Yeah.
Well,
I like this question because, you know, you always see different aspects of like men, women, different age groups. So that's definitely something that's really real. And it does exist out there. It is. It's been existing like that for years, right? So.
And it's not only the music. I mean, like I just dealt with that in the film industry. I'm down here in LA right now. I'm working on a few TV shows out here because it's pilot season. And, you know, I'm dealing with professional crew members, like, you know, getting my number off the voucher and like texting me their number on set. And like, I'm like, you could literally lose your job and probably get fined for that. Like, it's not like I'm going to like, you know, be like, look at this guy texting me.
Of course.
You can always sue.
It's just ridiculous.
But of course, with the movement that just happened lately with all this stuff, like fucking guys, like get your shit together. You know what I mean? Like people would rather lose talent than get, you know what I mean? They'll lose talent over actually gaining it on, you know, and benefiting both of you in the real professional world. But instead they'd rather be a goddamn pig about it. That's ridiculous.
And getting your number off or something, why they just don't come ask you for it? At least this way you can tell them no, done, and move on. You know what I mean? It's like people don't like rejection anymore. They're scared of it or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's insane.
That is crazy.
Wild, right?
Okay, so you're saying it's pilot season. You also act in a few series. You know, tell us some more about that. How was, you know, doing all of that, working in series and doing the acting and stuff like that?
It's good. It's fun. I mean, it could be stressful at times. You know, a lot of times with the call sheet till last minute, you kind of have to just you know, clear your schedule sometimes when you don't know. There's a lot of unknown.
Okay.
A lot of like last minute things, and recently I've been working on a show as a stand-in. I've been working on the Kaminsky method as a stand-in.
Okay.
Shh, don't say anything because it's not out yet, but
exclusive.
But I'm just a stand-in, so you're not really gonna see me that much anyways. But yeah, I've worked in the past. I've worked on a lot of other shows. I worked on Mayans MC, and you would see me in that. You'll see me in that. I worked on Ballers. I worked on lots of different commercials, like Capital One commercials, Nike commercials for the last Olympics. I did like some parkour and in the Kevin Hart Nike commercial.
Nice.
Yeah.
Have you done anything that didn't get picked up that you were hoping it was?
Actually, yeah. The Good Season. It's called The Good Season, and I was actually one of the featured cast members. And it was and it would have gotten me so many big roles. That role.
Wow.
And that's a crazy story, and that's actually a story about a producer that was trying to get me to marry him. And and he was so angry at me because I wouldn't be his girlfriend. His daughter was the same age as me.
Ooh.
He was mad at me because I wouldn't be his girlfriend, and he literally he set the whole movie up. It's even on IMDb. It's all set up, everything. He let it all fall apart. He lost. He was a psychopath.
Now you've been going through enough, right? How have you not just said fuck this? Like, how did you not just say leave me the fuck alone? Like, how are you keeping this grind going?
I mean, what else am I supposed to do? Get a 9 to 5?
I guess. I congratulate you.
I'm an artist. Artists can't mentally do that. I think in my own psychopathic ways, I can't do that. You know, I'm meant to create, I'm meant to act, I'm meant to, push my limits in performance and in writing and music.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really my main thing.
Right.
I have I mean, career wise, that's my main thing. My main goal with my life is actually the whole reason why I'm doing music and all of
Mm-hmm.
this in the first place is because of my nonprofit organization. I'm trying to create
Okay.
a conservatory, kind of a sanctuary to rescue animals.
Dope.
So
That's nice.
that's it's a big thing. It's a lot of work. I'm actually in law school right now,
Mm-hmm.
um, just building and trying to get to the level that I need to be at to be able to build something so big like this.
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So that's like my 10-year goal. Music and art and all of that. It's like part of who I am. It's like,
Yeah.
we all need oxygen in order to live. We all need to eat. We all need to drink water. And
Yeah.
some of us need to make music.
That little
You know
extra.
what I
Yeah.
mean?
Do you also on your website, are those paintings that you're selling on your website? Are those paintings done by you?
Yeah, I actually went to the San Francisco Art Institute for painting and performing, and I did. Yeah, I did.
Those
self-
are nice. So now, could we go through the list of things that you cannot do? That
yeah.
is that is crazy.
It's fun.
Painting, actress, dancer, like she does it all. I was just like,
Mm.
the more I did was researching, I was like, oh my. And then I saw painting. I was like, painting too. I was like, oh man. I'm like, I gotta start doing something with my life over here, So now, like, did COVID hit us in mid March? Did it push any projects or shows back for you?
It literally pushed everything everywhere for me.
Yeah.
Mm.
Like I said, I was going to the San Francisco Art Institute, and they completely shut down. They couldn't handle COVID. They were able to squeeze one more semester out, but it was like I wasn't willing to bank on whether or not I'm going to be able to even be in school because
Yeah.
I didn't want to risk not applying for other schools and just going to a different school that I know
Right.
will be there. So now I'm at the University of Arizona, but that was a whole whirlwind of situations. I got transferred from the San Francisco Art Institute to CCA or CAA, the California Academy of the Arts,
Okay.
and then they were gonna match all the scholarships that the Art Institute was giving me, and
Mm.
I was almost getting a full from them, so it was really difficult to have to go to a different school that I know wouldn't provide the same scholarships.
Right.
So since
Okay.
CAA was going to match the scholarships, I was just going to go there.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, they raised their tuition.
Mhm.
And they're not, I mean, they're only matching the scholarship. They're not matching
Oh.
all this other stuff they just added
Mhm.
on. So I was like, I can't do that. It was a lot of money. It's already $60,000 school.
Shit.
Yeah, I ended up at the University of Arizona finally. I mean, other projects that COVID pushed back. I mean, I was about to do another tour in Boston.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I literally was leaving. My flight was going to be March 11th, I believe, or March 10th. And
Yeah.
the school shut down March 13th, and
That's right.
we were notified of like the flights and everything, and the venues over in Boston were like, oh shoot, something just happened, we can't do this. And that was like March, gosh, 8th, maybe
Yeah.
7th
Wow.
or 8th.
Mhm.
So we were 2 days. I was packed. I was ready to go. We were about to leave.
Yeah, boy.
And then we were like, what?
That
Crazy.
sucks. That is crazy. I know COVID. How is it? Where are you at? You're in LA currently, right? You're
I'm
currently in
currently
LA.
in
Okay,
LA.
so
I'm
how's the
working a
COVID
couple
situation
shows
over
and
by in LA right now?
I just got an emergency alert on my phone, like COVID has just spiked. This is an alert. Stay indoors. Wear your mask. Oh. It literally, you know how the alerts are like super hectic.
Oh yeah. Oh my. Why are the alerts always late at night when I'm about to fall asleep too? Like about to die of a goddamn heart attack.
Every single person's phone goes off because literally everybody has the setting on their phone.
Yeah. Yeah, no,
it makes me jump. I'm like,
See, where I am, well, I don't. It's not so bad where Bam is in Canada. Where I'm in Canada, it's like they're shutting down the bars and doing all this stuff, and every day we have a record-setting COVID case. Like it's just like I don't even know where. Everyone I see is wearing a mask. Nothing's really open. I'm like, how are we still? I don't know. For me, COVID's a bit of a mystery. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the nay and hey. I don't know. Everyone has their own opinions, but I'm just this is ridiculous.
I don't want to I don't want to complain because we only got 10 cases in my area, so I'm happy. So.
It's because no one lives over there. That's why.
Yeah, right.
That's what makes a big difference. It makes
it's nice to be
difference.
alone. It's nice to be alone.
Yeah.
He did a dramatic change. He went from New York to Nova Scotia, Canada. Like that was the most dramatic change I've ever witnessed in my life.
It's a beautiful place. You should, if you get a chance, it
is beautiful. It is. It's a little slow. She comes from LA. If you want a quick, like lazy vacation, Nova Scotia's the way to go.
I love the countryside.
You'd love it there.
Yeah, I grew up with horses, like doing 4-H, all that junk. Like as much as my career demands the city life, I see. I like it.
Yeah, he's the I went and visited Bam, and then his wife and stuff. They get the lobster, they get it all fresh out of the water.
Yes.
The hookups are great. Yeah, they're absolutely
you enjoy
great.
it. You will enjoy it.
Definitely a cool spot. But I mean, but it's like for me, it's a short period of time. I need to come back to civilization. I don't know. I'm sorry, Bam. I'm sorry. I apologize, but. So, Tora, I want to ask you 10 quick random questions, just funny stuff, just to get people to know you a little bit better.
Okay.
So, the first question was, who was your first celebrity crush?
Oh, that's a good one.
We know that everyone in LA has been crushing on you. Let's flip the script now. So.
My first celebrity crush. Oh, that'd be a little hard.
She was too busy.
It might have been Leonardo DiCaprio in Titanic. I think I was 13. My mom actually, it was the first movie with, sensual situations that my mom ever let me see. I was like, I think I was 13 when that came out. And
do you know how many guys hated Leonardo DiCaprio in high school?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Terrible.
My girlfriend at the time went and saw it with her sisters. So I thought I dodged this movie, right? Like, I'm like, don't have to go see this thing, right? So next week, she's like, I got us tickets to see Titanic. And I'm like, but I thought you already saw it. Like, she's like, well, I need to see this together. And I'm like, oh, man. It was a good movie. Don't get me wrong.
It was a good movie.
It was long. But as a kid, watching your girlfriend watch this dude, you didn't enjoy it as much, but my young insecurities at the time, it happens, it happens. So, but Titanic, Leonardo DiCaprio, I can see that. Yeah.
I also did, I really liked, and I think I might have been younger. I liked Jonathan Taylor Thomas. I just remembered. You remember that kid?
I'm trying to remember.
Oh, he's not a kid anymore, obviously, but back when I was a kid, he was a kid.
I know.
Okay. So next question. What's your dream car?
Dream car. Probably have two.
Spit them out.
The Boss 429 and the GTR.
Nice. Very, very nice. Okay, so we know that you've been performing most of your life, but what was your first actual job?
My first real job, there's a semi-real job before my real job.
All right.
So
make us jealous again.
Okay. This one has a cute story.
Okay.
Because I might have been about 11 or 12, and I've always loved kids and I've loved babies, and when I was 10, 11, 12, I loved kids so much. My mom was kind of afraid that I would go get pregnant as soon as I was able to.
Okay.
So, she was like, well, hey, why don't you take care of other people's kids and see if you still want them? So she helped me build this little child care. It was called, because my middle name is Christine.
Okay.
So it was called Christine's Care Affair. And I was an au pair for mainly Army wives who needed help with their troubled kids.
Right.
And I actually learned a lot. I learned a lot about children, about how to work with kids. And I gained a passion with working with children as well. And I worked with a lot of kids with disabilities and autism and stuff like that. So I learned a lot about psychology and development and stuff like that. So it was a good, but my first real job, I actually got 2 jobs at the same time when I was 15, when I could legally first get a job.
That's right.
And one was at, it was called the Chicago Music Store in Tucson, Arizona. It was just like a little new and used music store. They also sold vintage. Vintage instruments, and it's been there. It's like a historical monument. It's been there forever. So I got a job there, and then I got a job also at this place called the Boardwalk Cafe. They're not there anymore.
Okay.
They were only there for a few years, but they were really cool. They had like an underground music venue. So every weekend they would have concerts, and we'd go into the basement and have little basement concerts. And during the day it was a cafe. And how I got that job, it was kind of accidental. I went in there with some friends to eat one day, and the food was like not that great. I've always loved cooking. I've always cooked and with my parents, with my family, at that young of an age. And so I, the cook came over and asked how the food was, and I kind of like,
no, you didn't.
I did, and I told him, I wasn't just like, oh, it tastes like shit, but I told him like things that he could improve and how he could make things better, and he was like, oh yeah, you know so much about cooking, why don't you show me? Okay. And I was like, okay, and I got up and walked to the back of the kitchen and started cooking a bunch of food.
Boom.
And when I served him, he hired me on the spot as a cook.
What?
Nice.
Damn, that's a cool story,
That's
man. Our
crazy.
stories are not cool. It was my friend worked at McDonald's and hooked me up. That was it. That was it. And I terrorized every McDonald's employee after. I don't know. It was funny.
Terrible,
I'm not gonna get into details on how I terrorized them. But put it this way, I could have never got my job back. I'll tell you. Bam worked at Burger King. We got similar stories.
I don't know how old you was, but do you remember the BK Buddies?
The little ones.
Mm-hmm.
There were 2 or 3 in the pack.
The little BK Buddies. They can look 2 of them together.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No, well, you young. It's okay.
Yeah, Bam's old.
Yeah, you young. It's okay. So, name one thing on your bucket list.
One thing on my bucket list.
You've done a lot already, by the way. So, you got to recreate something.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I kind of want to do the whole little India trip that like the Beatles did.
Oh, nice.
Like find myself.
Mm-hmm.
I have so many things on my bucket list.
That's good though. That is good though.
Definitely like your typical skydiving and like all that, like swimming with sharks and like all that. Like
why do people want to die? I don't understand.
I want to sail around the world in a boat for like 3 months in the middle of the ocean. Yeah, deep sea fishing for.
Tori, you can skip those invitations.
Right there on the boat, like a rabid dog.
Those couple of those things you can skip the invitation on us. You don't have to send those out. Skydiving and shark. No.
Nope.
Yeah, my heart can't take that, man. There's certain things you shouldn't watch. And today I was like scrolling through some videos, and it was like the 15 disasters that happened, and it was like theme park disasters. I was like, oh my god, I shouldn't watch this. Like, I'll never do anything again.
You're like, I ain't going on that ride no more.
Well, true story. So about 5 or 6 years ago, I take my dad on his first trip ever. Never been on a plane. Took him years to convince him. And the fucking guy goes and watches Final Destination like a week before. like, what are you doing?
I didn't get on a plane for like a year after I saw that movie.
That's what I mean. That thing will screw you up, man. The plane, like, I got off, the thing blows up. I was like, what are you doing? Don't watch that. Like, so, yeah.
To watch before you get on a plane.
Yeah, no, I don't know. And then, there's a few things I didn't help out. We were sitting by the wing, and the little wing kind of opens up when it's like about to land. And I tell my dad, I'm like, there's something missing. I shouldn't have done those things with him. I'm like, Pops, look at the wing. And he's like, where? I'm like, I don't know. And on the way back, he fell asleep for 5 minutes, and then I woke him up and I told him we were home. He's like, really? And I'm like, not even close. There's a few. He doesn't want to sit beside me on planes anymore. It was just funny because he was snoring. I'm like, oh, this is gonna be amazing. Woke him up. I'm like, yeah, we're almost there. No. Anyways, next question. Favorite place to perform?
Favorite place to perform? Ooh.
If you have a couple, let them out.
All of the House of Blues.
What is there? We had a couple artists from Canada that performed at the House of Blues
in Vegas.
Yeah, they were saying that was like they technically said this was it for me.
Pinnacle
they hit their pinnacle. Yeah, like what's with the House of Blues? What's so special about performing there?
It's just amazing, and I mean they're all slightly different. Like the one in Vegas is pretty. Wait, I think it's one. I get them kind of confused because I went to all of them within a 1 month time span. So I'm like, which one is which?
True.
I think it's the one in Vegas that's like really big, and it has, it's like I got lost in it.
Wow.
And as soon as I walked out of the venue, it was kind of like it turned into like a gift shop, and then it circled itself, and there was like a bunch of areas with bars in them that were closed. And it is a really cool. It's an amazing vibe. Just the setup and everything is amazing, and plus, I mean, being able to perform on a stage where, thousands of monumental legends have been on, and even the people that are legends now before they were legends, performed. Just like with First Avenue, in I think it's in Minneapolis or one of those states. The venue that Prince used to perform at all the time before he blew up. So it's always a blessing and a kind of a real spiritual feeling to
cool.
be on a stage like that. Yeah.
Okay, next question. Favorite TV show?
Favorite TV show?
Not one that you've been on.
Probably. I have a couple.
Yeah.
So I love the TV show Supernatural.
Sam and Dean, baby.
That's one of my favorite shows ever.
You know what I think that is? That's the male version of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Mm-hmm.
Kind of. I think, yeah. I could see that. Definitely. It's just way longer. I think there's 12, 13 seasons now.
15.
They're still running.
15. 15?
Ah!
We should have got you on that show, Tora.
slacking.
We should have got you on that show. You would have been set. 15.
I'm slacking. Well, I still have a chance. I think they're still running.
Yeah, there's 15 more to go. Come on, let's do it.
I gotta get a hold of the casting director and figure out.
You gotta find a woman that's working somewhere. You get hooked up. Fuck.
Yeah.
We gotta come down and be your bodyguards. We're like, yo, stop fucking around and give her a job. She can't sleep with you,
right.
jerk. Anyways. So do you have another one? Another TV show you like?
It's called Lunatics. And it's a mockumentary. It's like a super funny documentary, like Australian mockumentary. It's freaking hilarious. It's literally like some people don't get it. Like my mom can't really understand what they're saying because it's a thick Australian accent.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
So she's not, she doesn't always get the jokes, but, and some, I had a friend I tried to watch it with and they're like, oh yeah, it's funny.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how are you not pissing your pants right now? I literally die. I've watched that whole show probably like 3 times now,
Love it.
and I still die at all the parts. I know they're coming. And I even sometimes I say it with the actor, and I still laugh. I'm like,
I don't know. There's some shows that are just like that. I don't know.
It's still that funny.
You ever told, like, I don't know if it's because I just suck at saying it. There's always a part of like a show you're like, and then he said that, and then they said this, and I start laughing, and they're looking at me like, no, it's not. I'm like, am I ruining this, or is it just not that funny for everyone else? I don't know. I love rewatching a show and you catch something else. You know, when you caught another part, you're like, wow, I love that. It's so good. So, Tora, besides music, what other hobbies do you have? Well, okay. There's modeling. Let's get that out of the way. Actress, painting. Is there anything else that, is there a secret hobby that we don't know about?
Skydiving, all this stuff.
Well, I've actually never been skydiving yet.
That's her bucket list, man. It's not a hobby. It could be. It will be eventually.
Yeah.
I did mention horses. I've always been into horses. I used to train horses when I was younger, and I love gardening. Everywhere I'm living, I usually have some sort of like miniature produce farm going on.
That's awesome. I love that.
Okay.
Our buddy James is all into that. He was all on Facebook and stuff. Yet, and I don't know. It's interesting. Like the way he did it. He had like the drops, like like the eavesdrops leaking into his garden. Like he had it all set up. It was ridiculous. He had a little stream. It was awesome.
Amazing. Yeah.
It was so awesome.
That's cool. That's really cool.
Name your favorite movie.
Oh, that's a real hard. You hit me with a hard one.
What's the first one to come to mind? Boom.
See that?
Reservoir Dogs.
Oh, nice.
Mr. Pink, Mr. Blue.
Nice.
Yeah.
See, I always tell the story about my favorite movie was.
And then Boondock Saints.
Oh, Boondock. Yeah, I can see that.
Came to mind.
I can see that. My favorite movie was with Johnny Depp in Blow, and I love that movie.
Yeah, that was good.
I actually watched a Vlad TV interview with that real guy, George, the real, the one that Johnny Depp is playing. He's such an idiot that it actually made me not like it was not my favorite movie anymore. I was like, the interview was so bad. I was like, oh my God, just re-interview Johnny Depp, pretend it's him, and let's wrap this up. But Blow for the longest time was my favorite movie by far. Man, what's yours again? Is it Crush Groove?
It's Crush Groove. Have
you ever heard of this movie, Tora? Crush Groove? Crush Groove with a K. I actually watched it not too long ago. Since Bam is much older than us. By the way, I checked the date. It is 85, Bam.
85?
It's 85, and it has
85.
And who's in it? LL Cool J,
Run DMC, Fat Boys.
They're all in it.
Mr. Hyde, Curtis Blow.
And it's Crush Groove with a K.
Beastie Boys, New Edition. Everybody's in there. You know what I mean? But 1985, I was young. I went to the movie theaters by myself for the first time, so it's gonna stick with you, right? You know what I mean? And it's a hip hop movie, and that's just how it is. Me and the fellas, we went to go check that out.
It was definitely cool. It was so cool rewatching all these people being so young, like so young. You're just like, oh my God, like it was crazy. Tora, name me one thing that's your favorite food to eat.
I love shellfish.
Ooh, nice. Yeah.
Nova Scotia.
Lobster, crab,
Nova Scotia.
scallops. My
Nova
favorite
Scotia.
is probably seared scallops.
Ooh, Nova Scotia. I'm telling you.
Yeah, he's got all that for you up there.
Just the other day, I had pan-seared scallops with maple syrup.
The only time I've ever heard of this thing, it was Chef Ramsay's Kitchen Nightmares or whatever. That one that he's yelling. That's the only time I ever heard of scallops. I was like, what is this? And no one can make a scallop on the whole fucking show. That's all I remember.
That stuff's delicious, bro. I'm telling you. Okay, so name me one artist you would love to feature on one of your songs.
Mariah Carey.
Well, there you go.
That would be dope.
That would no hesitation. None. Mariah Carey.
My whole life, I was like, you know what? Before I die, actually, you know what? She's on my bucket list.
There you
That bitch
go.
on my
There
bucket
you go.
list.
There it is. There it is.
That's
You know.
dope. That would be dope. So what's next for you, Tor? Like now that if COVID, this vaccination is supposedly coming out and everyone's set free, what's next for you?
Well, seeing as, hoping that the vaccination doesn't kill us all
Yeah.
quicker.
Yeah.
Well, gonna finish school, and it's gonna be online no matter what, because it's only gonna be about a year or so left. And just start pushing for this organization. I need to get my 501c3 and get some other people on board and start looking at locations. And I have on New Year's, I am rebranding and kind of maturing my sound and kind of creating a newer kind of solid essence that I think kind of fits who I am. It's kind of been what I've been looking for. You know how like all artists kind of like search for their sound, search for their right entity, their brand, and I think I've kind of just finally stumbled upon it out of all the different things that I've tried over the however old I am, many years.
Right.
We're born in 1999. I swear to God.
This album on New Year's.
That's awesome.
Nice.
That is awesome. So Tora, you're on all major platforms, right?
Yes.
All major platforms. They can follow you at Tora Woloshin on both. You can like your Facebook page. Also follow you on Instagram, right?
Yes.
Perfect. So, we were talking about it in the beginning of the show when you hopped on. So how did everything go for your live streaming show? How did that all come apart too? Like,
oh, it was fun. He found me on Instagram, and he asked me if I was in LA, and I was like, no, I'm in the Bay, but he offered to pay me to come down and do this live stream with him and this girl named Courtney Cox. She's a guitarist for the real popular tribute band to the Iron Maidens.
Nice.
Iron Maiden. And they're called the Iron Maidens. So,
oh, nice.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and it was fun. We were a bunch of really, really great musicians there. And Courtney's an amazing guitarist and great personality. So it was a blast. It was right on the beach. So
yeah, because I saw the video you posted up. It was so cool. So that's how they did. So they got you guys all together, one live stream. That's legit.
Yeah.
That is
Sweet,
really cool.
sweet.
So I wanted to end the interview with your video Motivation. Can you tell us a bit about that video?
Yes. So the video Motivation was filmed at FD Studios, which is in downtown LA. It's a wonderful little photography and film location, good little sceneries and stuff. The song is actually, it's kind of about, not giving up and seeing through the hard times in your life and chasing your dreams. And when you run into one failure, when you fail, don't take that as you weren't meant to do it, or
True.
Can't do anything. You just take it as learn how to do it a different way and then try it again. So that's just about pursuing your dreams and not giving up.
Good,
oh yeah.
Good.
Everyone, I don't know. It's everything we've ever done. You know what I mean? You don't start off running, right? You got to walk.
Right.
Try
and
and
you
do
go
it
through
again,
a lot
right?
of pain to get to the pleasure. So, you got to use that pain as motivation to get there.
And in your case, you know what I mean? There's also there's also people like I can see the fact that like even being an artist, either or, but in Tora's situation is like, you also have another speed bump, which was, what we talked about earlier. You know what I mean? There's also like your music's great as done, but if you don't do something else, it doesn't get released, right? So the fact that you're not giving up is a perfect entry to this music video here. So I think that's fantastic.
Sweet.
Thank you.
But Tora, thank you for being on. It was awesome. And,
thank you so much.
It was our pleasure. And if there's anything we can do up here, let us know. If there's anything we can help you promote, feel free. You've been on our show. We'd be more than happy to help you out.
Thank you
All right.
so much. And check out my
Thank you.
new single coming out on the 27th.
Absolutely.
27.
Sounds good, Tora. See you guys later. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Every now and then I run into some things that don't make life easy. People tend to hate, make a pleasant thing. But every time I fail, I try a different way. I'm gonna make my story. You can't stop me now, this is what I'm about. If you have a dream, you better stand up and take it as it comes. If anybody ever breaks me down, I fall, then I get right back up. Some people try to hurt you real bad, use the pain as motivation. And every time I don't succeed, I just say I can't give up. I just say I won't give up. Taking all the blame, risking everything. Same old story. Gotta protect my name, try to break the chains. Don't wanna be tamed. All on the floor, asking for more. It's never